Today we're playing Pauper Poison Storm, the deck that infects you using Infectious Inquiry or Prologue to Phyresis before proliferating using Experimental Augury or Vivisurgeon's Insight. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. This is Pauper Poison Storm, and I'm thrilled to be playing it today for you. But before we get into the deck list, let's thank the sponsor of today's video, the Upstate New York Pauper Play Discord. If you're looking to build a community that plays Pauper in New York State, there's no better place to join. Find others like you that want to play competitive Pauper and paper. Speaking of which, I'm going to be going to their event on March 1st, the first inaugural Upstate New York Open. And you can meet me on March 1st. I'll be doing giveaways and signed tokens and stuff like that. So come meet me. And in fact, Poison Storm is one of the decks that I'm considering for that event. Why would I consider playing Poison Storm? Well, in order to get to that point, I think you have to understand how it works. So we'll circle back in a second. So this deck is really a mana engine deck. You have Saprazzan Skerry, Peat Bog, Hickory Woodlot. These are all lands that have counters on them. And then you have Everflowing Chalice and Pentad Prism. All right, so these all have counters. And how you win is with Infectious Inquiry or Prologue to Phyresis to give your opponent a poison counter. From there, you have spells with Proliferate like Experimental Augury, Contentious Plan, Steady Progress, and Vivisurgeon's Insight. This proliferates the poison counter. But you can also proliferate the counters on Everflowing Chalice and your lands, your Pentad Prism too. So you're really a mana engine deck. You're not a poison deck. And that answers the question that I receive a lot of, why don't you play more copies of Prologue to Phyresis? Because you really only need one poison card, and then you want a bunch of proliferate cards, so that way you can continue to make mana. That is the idea here. Other than that, the deck is just draw spells and removal or temple plays like Snap, which bounces an opponent's creature and then untaps your Saprazzan Skerry, so that way you can make more blue mana, which allows you to play more copies of Experimental Augury or Contentious Plan, stuff like that. Other than that, you have Weather the Storm, Breath Weapon, those sort of things. That's how the deck functions. And why would I want to play this in the inaugural Upstate Pauper Open? Well, it's because this deck doesn't care about Weather the Storm. You win with poison. You also don't care about Graveyard Hate or Prismatic Strands. Like, this deck doesn't care about a lot of things. What it does care about is land destruction. So, that's not even popular. Like, Gruul Panza pretty much doesn't exist. Most people play Gruul Ramp. So without land destruction being a popular theme in the format, I believe that Poison Storm is prime for the picking, and that's why I'm considering it for the event. You also have Dispel and Bring the Ending in the sideboard for those pesky counter magic decks. You're not favored versus blue decks in game one, but post-board you have 8 counter spells to fight back with you swap those with your Snaps, Weathers, and Breath Weapon, and then all of a sudden you have a pretty good blue matchup post-board. You have additional copies of Snap. These are primarily for things like Brood Scale combo or walls, anything with large creatures or things that you need to answer or else you lose. Breath Weapon, small to the ground creatures like Mono Red or White Weenie, stuff like that. And then Moment's Pieces for larger creatures like your Gruul Ramp. That is Pauper Poison Storm. If you enjoyed that tech, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate your support, but that's all I've got for today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first round. We are on the draw. I will keep Mountain. All right, we're facing Mono Red. I've actually opened up the one Breath Weapon, so that's good. I also have Weather the Storm, but what we need is more mana. Lorien Revealed. I will pass the turn. The Goblin Tomb Raider. Wow, what a crazy start. Holy moly. We will cycle Lorien Revealed, grab an island, play it, play the Everflowing Chalice for 1, pass. Reckless Lackey. Oh my. Okay. Another Reckless. They have one card in hand. So if I draw a Lotus Petal here, I can wipe their entire board. I'm at 6. Deep Analysis. I did not draw a Lotus Petal. I can steady progress, but then I lose my Saprazzan Skerry. I guess I'll steady progress? Come on, Lotus Petal. Nope. Alright, we lose game number 1 to Mono Red. That was not a great start. Oh my. I mean, great start for them, not for me. We'll bring in the Breath Weapons, get rid of Snap, and we'll try it again. On the play this time. Sure, we'll play Peat Bog, pass. Great Furnace into Goblin Tomb Raider. Yeah, better than Goblin Guide here. We'll go to 18. Cycle the Lorien Revealed. Grab our island. Play Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. Another Goblin Tomb Raider. And a Reckless Lackey. So they have an even better start so far this game. I'll go to 13. Another Pentad Prism. Okay. So we'll play the Pentad Prism, which was a pretty good draw, I won't lie. And now we can Contentious Plan, which will level up all of our stuff. Draw an island. I'll play the island, and we'll steady progress. Level up. We draw a land, which isn't great. Play Experimental Augury. We find Breath Weapon, and I will pass the turn. So finding Breath Weapon is obviously good here. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. But I have no more gas. Like, we're completely empty. So I need to draw 3, like a Vivid Surgeon's Insight, Lorien Revealed, Deep Analysis, something like that. And they have Goblin Bushwhacker, 2 cards left in hand. We will play Breath Weapon. Okay, they have 2 cards left, and I'm at 12. There's a Lorien Revealed. Let's go. We'll use 1 counter from the Pentad Prism. We'll hardcast Lorien Revealed. We draw Weather the Storm. I will pass. We're going to hang on to that Weather the Storm, at least for a turn cycle. They have 3 cards in their hand. Experimental Synthesizer. They find a Mountain. They have 2 cards left, and it looks like they're going to pass. We draw another Weather. Okay. I will pass the turn. I don't think I need to play Weather quite yet. And you might be saying, why not play out Everflowing Chalice? Well, I might want that for Weather the Storm. Okay, I think this might be a turn where I cast at least 1 Weather. We'll play Pentad Prism, play a Lotus Petal. Let's play... Actually, I don't want to tap both. I'll play Everflowing Chalice for 2. And now I'll remove 1 counter from Pentad Prism, tap the Everflowing Chalice. We'll play Weather the Storm. And Weather the Storm again. So we have plenty of life. I just need to draw into something good. They use the Synthesizer. They hit another Mountain. Deep Analysis. Bingo! Alright, target myself. And the reason I wanted Deep Analysis there is if they're sitting on a Pyroblast, this actually still works. Play Peat Bog, and I think I'm going to just pass. Reckless Lackey. They have 4 cards still in hand. They swing for 3. I'll go to 36. We draw Infectious Inquiry. That's good. Let's play Infectious Inquiry. This will bring me to 34. This will give them their first poison. You can't Pyroblast that, I promise. We will play Contentious Plan. Ooh, they're F6'd. Okay. So now they have 2 poison. We draw Breath Weapon. Let's play Steady Progress. They go to 3 poison. Another Infectious Inquiry. I'll play it. Vivid Surgeon's Insight. Okay. We'll play the land. Tap. And now I can play an Insight. So it effectively costs 2. They go to 5 poison. Play the Lotus Petal. And I think I want 2 Insight again. We'll play another Insight. They go to 6 poison. And I think this is going to be a full-on Storm turn where we just win the game. Contentious Plan. They go to 7 poison. We'll play another Lotus Petal. We'll play another Contentious Plan. They go to 8 poison. Another Insight. Okay. So Steady Progress will bring them to 9. And then the Insight will be lethal. This is a cool turn. All right, looks like we got the job done here. Hardcast Insight for lethal. This was a sweet, sweet turn. All right, that's lethal, and we win game number 2. Now we have to get game 3 on the draw. That's the tough thing. I will resubmit. One thing I should note is that I am actually playing Callie Kai's deck list today. I did try to record Poison Storm last week, but my own list, and it went horribly. And I just decided I wasn't going to do that to myself again today. So Callie has had a lot of success recently, and I trust Callie to, have a good deck list. So we're just going to run it. And fun fact, Callie Cleese actually lives 5-10 miles away from me. We're actually pretty close. So great person. Turn 1 Mountain. They kept 7. Turn 1 Reckless Lackey. Yeah. We'll play Peat Bog and pass. Synthesizer. Sure. They exile a Reckless Lackey. So no land here. That's a good sign for me. We will cycle the Lorien Revealed. Go grab an island. And then we'll play Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. Another Synthesizer, exiling Clockwork Percussionist, so they're just missing on lands. We'll play the Hickory Woodlot, and I will play Contentious Plan to level up my mana here. They're not poisoned yet, but I can still advance my mana. We'll tap the Peat Bog, and I'll play another Contentious Plan. Level up, level up, level up. Term is 2. I think I'm going to sit on the Weather the Storm, and I'll just pass. Kuldotha Rebirth, they hit a Great Furnace, so they hit their land. Another Reckless Lackey, they'll swing for 2, I'll go to 15. Steady Progress. We'll play Saprazzan Skerry. I will exile a counter here. We'll play Vivisurgent's Insight, floating a green. Level, 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 level. And I think I'm supposed to play a Weather the Storm this turn. We'll use a counter from the Pentad Prism. Actually, I don't have to. I have a mana floating. I could also just Weather pass. Like, is game 12 good enough? Like, do I need to play the Steady Progress? I kind of want to. Yeah, I'll save a Lotus Petal. We will Steady Progress, level up our lands again, and then I'll Weather the Storm for 15. This way, I don't have to fear dying to a Goblin Bushwhacker. They find land number 3, and there's the Goblin Bushwhacker. So I've seen almost a third of my deck, and I have not found a Breath Weapon, which is something I am now interested in. 26 life. 18 life. I forgot about the first strike. Another Steady Progress. Let's play Infectious Inquiry. This will give them their first poison. We find an Augury. Let's play Experimental Augury. If they counter this, I could just Weather and gain 9 more. Or 12 more, I should say. We find another Augury or Deep Analysis. I'm going to take the Augury. Proliferate onto them. I'll play another Augury here. Take the Lotus Petal. I think it's the Lotus Petal. And we will Proliferate. They go up to 3 poison. I'll play the Lotus Petal. And I'll gain 15 more. Weather the Storm. So this puts me up to 31. And I've now seen over 33% of my deck, and I have not found a Breath Weapon. Instead, they Galvanic Blast me. I take 2. Clockwork Percussionist. They have 2 cards still in their hand. Another Goblin Bushwhacker. Wow. Alright, a lot of damage coming in. The one nice thing, I can play Vivisurgent's Insight without fear of it being countered this turn. They have 1 card left. I'll play Vivisurgent's Insight and we'll float a green. They go up to 4 poison. We find another Weather the Storm. I'll play Saprazzan Skerry. We'll play Experimental Augury. They'll go up to 5 poison. We finally find a Breath Weapon. So they go to 5 poison. We'll level up our mana. And we will remove a bunch of counters from this Pentad Prism to Breath Weapon. They get a Clockwork Percussionist trigger. They find Voldaren Epicure. And I will Weather the Storm again. This time it's for 12. So I'll be at 25. They have 2 cards left, plus the Voldaren Epicure that they can play. They use Synthesizer, hits a Goblin Tomb Raider. They play the Tomb Raider, and now they can attack for 2. I'm at 23. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. Let's play Steady Progress. They'll go up to 6 poison. We Proliferate on all of our things. Another Lorien Revealed. I'll Steady Progress. They'll go up to 7 poison. Another Pentad Prism. Well, Heartcast Alorian revealed. Pass the turn. They go to combat. They have 4 damage on the table, so this will send me to 19. And they have 2 cards in hand. Breath Weapon. Play a land. Let's try a Prologue here to see if it resolves. Like, I'm afraid of Pyroblast. It did resolve. I'll now play a Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. They're going to combat. I think I'm going to Breath Weapon. Because if they Pyroblast my Lorien revealed, I don't know if I can win before they theoretically kill me. All right, the Breath Weapon resolved. Their opponent passed. I lagged a little bit on that Breath Weapon, so I lost some time. All right, so they're at 8 poison, 3 cards in hand. I will play Contentious Plan. Does this resolve? They Red Elemental left, okay? I will attempt a Lorien revealed. That did resolve. Okay. I will Infectious Inquiry. This would put you to 9 poison. Cannot Red Elemental Blast. We'll play Pentad Prism. And a Vivid Surgeon's Insight, where if this resolves, it's lethal. And it did in fact resolve. And that, my friends, is match number 1 with Poison Storm over Mono Red. We got absolutely destroyed in game number 1. Came back in both post-war games versus the boogeyman of the format. I love that. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this round. Stick around and watch the remaining 4 matches. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Time for the second match. We are on the play. After yesterday's video where I was recording Cycle Storm, I'm just double checking every round to make sure that I'm actually. Yes, I will keep. It's a little bit of a clunky hand, but I think you're supposed to keep it. Lanes. All right, they're on Mono-White. I actually beat this person when I 5-0'd recently with Cycle Storm. We'll play an island. I have to imagine that this is a very good matchup, but I've been wrong before in my life. Another Thraben Inspector, sure. Okay. And step will cycle Lorien revealed. We'll go grab another island. Hickory Woodlot. We'll play that and pass the turn. I could go like Snap, Lotus Petal, Insight. I just don't know if I need to be that aggressive. Like, what is our opponent doing here? They're playing a bunch of 1/2s. Like, why do I need to be so aggressive with my resources? Let's play an Insight, level up our lands. We'll play Peat Bog, play out the Lotus Petal, pass the turn. Instead, they crack a Clue token. All right, they'll put a +1/+1 counter on a Thraben Inspector into Battle Screed. Now they flash back the Battle Screed. We'll take 3 down to 14. This would be a great time to draw the 1/of Breath Weapon. I'll start off with a Contentious. We'll level up our lands. Another Lorien reveal. The problem right now is that my hand is super clunky. We'll tap for a few green. I'll snap the Thraben Inspector, that's a 2/3. And tap on tap. Tap the Saprazzan Skerry and the Hickory Woodlot. I'll play a Vivisurgeon's Insight into a triple land. That is disgusting. Holy moly. That was really bad. I'll play a Saprazzan Skerry and Weather the Storm for 12. I can't think of the name of the spell, but there's a 3 white mana instant where all of your white creatures get +2/+2. I don't want to die to that. They crack a Clue token. They play a land. Thraben Inspector is back. Okay. Lotus Petal is the draw. We'll tap Peat Bog and Saprazzan Skerry. Let's Lorien revealed. Oh, we are flooding hard this game. Holy moly. I'll play Experimental Augury. We'll take another Experimental Augury. Level up the lands. Play Augury. We find Infectious Inquiry. Guess I'll take that. Play another Saprazzan Skerry and Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. We'll discard. Oh, they're going to cycle Eagles of the Sure. I'll discard a Hickory Woodlot. Alright, so they'll put a +1/+1 counter on their creature. Guardian's Pledge, that was the card I was talking about. So am I dead here? I might be. I'm going to assume I'm dead. I'm not going to. Yeah, I died. I mean, I never found anything. All I drew were lands. This is a super good matchup, too. It's just I never found anything. Sad. But we have some tools in the sideboard. We have Breath Weapon that we definitely want. We have Moment Speed. Those are all things we want here. You don't need Snap. Those can get out of your deck. You can board out the Prologue to Phyresis. And I think I'm going to board onto 2 Weather the Storm. Like, you want some number of Weathers, but when you have Moment Speed and Breath Weapon, you don't really need it as badly. I'll try this. So the matchup changes a little post-board too, where they get to board in a bunch of things like Dust to Dust, and they can go after your mana. I feel like we lost the game that should have been almost a bot, which is unfortunate. Another island. We'll play Everflowing Chalice. Pass the turn. We'll take 1. Or Skyfisher. Weather the Storm. We'll play Pentad Prism for 1. Play our island and Contentious Plan. If they have a Dust to Dust here, it's going to hurt so bad. Pass the turn. The Insight was a very good draw. They have Revoke Existence. Yep. We'll take 2 down to 17. We'll play Pentad Prism for 1. And then Steady Progress. Pass the turn. We drew both Weathers. Our opponent sacrifices the Clue token. I think they're looking for land number 3 for Dust to Dust. We'll take 2 down to 15. They discard a Battle Screech. We draw Hickory Woodlot. We'll play Vivisurgent's Insight, level everything up. Tap the island, and we'll remove a counter from Pentad Prism. We'll play another. Pass the turn. They found land number 3. No Dust to Dust. Okay. Raven Inspector's back. Novice Inspector. They flash back Battle Screech. I'll just go to my turn. We find Saprazzan Skerry. I'll just play the land impact. This is 6 damage. I'll take 6. End step. We will Experimental Augury. I think I want the Lorien revealed here. We find another Augury. Hold on. Maybe I want to use this Everflowing Chalice a little bit more wisely. Let's play Experimental Augury. Make a Breath Weapon. Level everything up. And now we'll play Lorien Revealed. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, Contentious Plan. Steady Progress is the draw. We'll play a Lotus Petal. We'll play Weather the Storm for 15, Weather the Storm for 8. And we'll pass the turn. This encourages them to overextend into my future Breath Weapon. They draw a card using a clue. They swing for 6. Sure. Like, I could play Moment's Peace, I just don't know why I would. Like, 6 damage doesn't matter when I could save those for later, when actually makes me more, or saves more damage, I should say. We draw a Lotus Petal. We'll play Steady Progress. We have not infected them yet. Okay? Contentious Plan, we'll play that. Another Steady Progress. We draw an Insight, that's good. There we go, we finally find a poison card. I wonder if we could just, like, win this turn. We'll play a Lotus Petal. Tap. We'll play actually, hold on. Let's play the Pentad Prism. And now we'll play Infectious Inquiry. Experimental Augury. We'll take Vivisurgent's Insight and Proliferate on our opponent. I was not expecting us to just chain perfects until we were at this 5 mana for a Vivisurgent's Insight. They go to 3 poison. We drew 3 land. We'll play out a Lotus Petal. Lorien Revealed. Okay. We'll play Infectious Inquiry. They'll go to 4 poison. No more Proliferate spells. There's 18 cards left in my deck. We'll play another Infectious Inquiry. They go to 5 poison. I find another Insight. I think I'm going to use the Lotus Petals here. Let's just get them off the board. I'll play Insight. They'll go to 6 poison. 3 lands. Okay, so I'll play a land. We'll pass the turn. Discard some lands. They play Guardian's Pledge. I will show them Moment Speed. And they pass. Or they just concede. Nice. Okay, so we're off to game 3. I will submit. I never showed them a Breath Weapon that game either. Or at least I don't think I did. Good hand. We'll keep. I don't love that Revoke Existence on my Pentad Prism might hurt a lot, but I still think that this is a keepable hand. Fiend's Informant. Discards an Eagles of the North. I'll take 1. Hickory Woodlot. I'll pass the turn. Land number 3. The Alicia Bugler. Okay. I was hoping for something that died to Breath Weapon. Oh well. So they're going to attack for 4. I'll go to 15. Draw an island. We'll play Pentad Prism. We'll play Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. And I think I want to sit on the other Pentad Prism in case they have Dust to Dust. And I'll play Weather the Storm. We'll gain 12. So we'll take 6 here. I'll go to 20. Or Skyfisher. They pick up a Plains. Another Rafine's Informant. Okay. Everflowing Chalice. So if I want to play the Insight, I think I have to lose a land. So if I play Pentad Prism, I'd have 1 mana floating. Do I have to lose both lands? I think I might. No, I can get away with... I have to get rid of both Lotus Petals, but I think that we'll play Insight. I'll play Everflowing Chalice for 1. Tap it, and then play Contentious Plan. Another Contentious Plan. Play that. Experimental Augury. So you might be saying, why am I not trying to Infectious Inquiry first? I'm just not convinced that's what the game is about right now. And I'm going to Breath Weapon to reduce their board presence. Pass the turn. So they can swing for 4. That will put me to 17. And they have Dust to Dust. No! That hurt. That was my biggest fear there. All right. The land was good. We'll pass. So this will put me to 13. No way. That was insane. Yep. Okay. We'll play an Insight. Level up our lands. Play Hickory Woodlot. Pass the turn. I'm at the point where I need to start being worried about Guardian's Pledge. This puts me to 9. All right. So Guardian's Pledge would not be lethal. I've already used 1 Weather the Storm. I'm going to pass. They play land number 5. So this is 5 coming in, which would put me to 4. They just pass. End step will Experimental Augury. Deep Analysis. I think that's the card I want here. Level up our lands. Still on the end step. Augury. I find the Moment Speed. That's good. Level up my lands. Okay. I will play Lorien Revealed. Play Saprazzan Skerry. Pass the turn. They swing. I will play Moment's Peace. So we have another Moment's Peace turn coming. I'll Deep Analysis targeting myself. That was not very good. Okay. Play Hickory Woodlot. Oh, did I just mess up? I just messed up. Because the way that I tapped wasn't how I meant to tap. So I think I'm going to go to 1. And I'll Flashback Moment. I'm sorry, Flashback Deep Analysis. I have 1 Weather the Storm left in the deck. All right, we will pass the turn. Get rid of Basic Island and an Infectious Inquiry. Flashback Moment's Peace. 26 cards left. 7 minutes on the clock. Play Steady Progress. We have to find the Weather the Storm before I can poison them. So also, depending on where that weather is, I just might be in a lot of trouble. Deep Analysis. Play the land. Play Lorien Revealed. No. I'm just going to pass the turn. I need to play faster. There's 6 minutes left on the clock. My opponent has no poison. I have to find the only other Weather the Storm. Play Moment's Peace. Play Lorien Revealed. Play Hickory Woodlot. Steady Progress. Pass the turn. In their upkeep, I'll Flashback Moment's Peace. I am running out of time. Play Pentad Prism. Maybe I messed up playing that Deep Analysis. I was trying to play so fast. Play Vivid Surgeon's Insight. This will level up my land. No Weather the Storm. Play the Pentad Prism. Experimental Augury. There's the Weather. Might be too late. Play Weather the Storm. This will gain 15. I have 1 more Moment's Peace left in the deck. We'll play Steady Progress. Breath Weapon. Pass the turn. 11 cards. I don't know if I can win with 11 cards. We'll Breath Weapon in response to this Revoke Existence. We'll Breath Weapon again. I don't know if I can actually win this. So I'll take 8 here, going down to 8. I have no black mana? Yeah, I think I just threw this. I don't think I'm actually capable of winning. This was a weird game. It all came down to that 1 Deep Analysis play. We'll play an Insight. I drew a Peat Bog, but I just don't think I can actually win. A Peat Moment's Peace. So frustrating. Yeah, I feel like I just punched this. 6 cards left in deck. Play the Infectious Inquiry. I'm just going to concede. All right, well, that was a bummer. I did not play that well here. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Okay, it's time to bounce back after that loss that was admittedly my own fault. I will keep. It's just I got a little nervous with the clock running down, and I just quickly made a play, because if you sit there and tank, I think it's just not helping either, and I made the wrong call. We'll play Saprazzan Skerry past the turn. Colony Garden, okay. We'll cycle a Lorien Revealed, grab our island, play it. Overflowing Chalice, pass the turn. Okay, this is probably the Golgari Brood Scale deck. We draw Peat Bog, that's good. We'll play Everflowing Chalice, pass the turn. End step Deadly Dispute. Yep. Another Colony Garden. This is not a very good matchup for poisons. We will play the Prologue. We'll give them their initial poison. Play our island. I will lose the Saprazzan Skerry. Actually, hold on. Do I have to? 3, 4. No, I don't have to. We'll play Vivisurgeon's Insight. They'll go to 2. Pass the turn. And step a Fanatical Offering. Sure. So Offering is interesting. You don't normally see that in the Brute Scale decks. I mean, not that you can't play it, but it's usually more like the Golgari Gardens decks. And they just concede. Interesting. Well, we don't need Breath Weapon. I think we're supposed to bring in the Snaps, assuming that they are in fact on the Brood Scale deck. I think I'll try this. I feel so bad that I just punted that Game 3 versus Mono-White. I was so nervous about the clock, especially with Magic Online lagging like recently. It's just it plays another factor into your play decisions. I'll keep this. Only Garden is back. Play the Hickory Woodlot. Bazooka Bog. So I am now believing that this is more likely Golgari Gardens than it is the Brood Scale deck. And I'll pass the turn. So I could have cycled Lorien Revealed and played a Pentad Prism. I decided against it. And it is in fact Golgari Gardens. My read on the Fanatical Offering was good. So according to CKieling, that this matchup is essentially a bye. It is impossible to lose. Well, I found a way to lose versus Mono-White, which should be pretty close to a bye, so we'll see. All right, so I will play Pentad Prism, and we will Experimental Augury, take the Peat Bog, level up our permanents, play the Peat Bog, pass the turn. Next turn, I can infect them, and then we'll start doing our thing. They play a Deadly Dispute, they play a Swamp into Troublemaker Roof, and I was F6'd, so I could not steady progress. My bad. All right, but we'll be fine here. I'll play Saprazzan Skerry. And then we will play Infectious Inquiry. And now I'll steady progress, which, in my opinion, works out. Like, I don't even know if you were supposed to steady progress there, but we're just doing our own thing. They swing for 2. I'll go to 16. Crypt Rats, sure. And a Lembas. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. Vivisurgeon's Insight. We'll go to 3 poison. Play the Lotus Petal. We'll Experimental Augury. Grab Pentad Prism. We'll go to 4 poison. And I'll just pass the turn. Get rid of Peat Bog. So I could play out another Pentad Prism, but why would I do that? Like, I can just wait a turn, play it on my own turn, and then play Vivisurgeon's Insight. Fanatical Offering. They use the map on the Crypt Rats. They play another land. They Crypt Rats for 1. You got it. I'm at 11. We will begin by playing Pentad Prism, and then Experimental Augury. This will... Do I want the Insight, or do I want... I think I want the Snap. Proliferate on them. Play Snap on Crypt Rats. and tap. We'll play Vivisurgeon's Insight. We'll go to 6 poison. Play Lotus Petal. We will Contentious Plan. They'll go to 7 poison. Another Lotus Petal. They'll play Infectious Inquiry. They'll go to 8. And that should do it. Prologue to Phyresis. Experimental Augury. We'll take Weather the Storm. Proliferate onto you. That was a nice quick match. All right, well, we won match number 3 pretty quickly. I didn't make any terrible plays. There's one play that I couldn't make because I was F6, but I don't think you were supposed to cast. Okay. Whew. All right, bounce back. Let's just get the final 2 rounds and finish this with a strong 4-1 finish. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Okay, match number 4, we are on the draw. Sure, we'll keep. Oh, I guess we're on the play. My bad. I thought we were on the draw. Whoops. Twisted Landscape. So this is probably Brood Scale combo. I'll play Experimental Augury, Pentad Prism, add a counter to our land, play an island, pass the turn. We grab a mountain. Okay. Are you like Jund Wildfires? What's going on here? Hickory Wellspring. So most Brood Scale decks don't play artifact lands anymore, so this is likely something else. We'll grab another island. Play Pentad Prism for 1. And now I'll play Contentious Plan. We'll level up our 2 permanents, pass. Next turn, I would like to Infectious Inquiry and get this game rolling. Another thought that I had about that Mono-White matchup, knowing that they had Dust to Dust and Revoke Existence, maybe I was supposed to board out some of the artifacts like the Everflowing Chalice. It's something that I didn't consider that maybe I should have. We'll Infectious Inquiry, play... Actually, let's hold on. Before I play a land, we'll Contentious Plan. Because if I draw a depletion land, I probably want to play at this turn. We'll Proliferate on them and then our permanents. Play our island. I think I'm going to play the Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. Step a Deadly Dispute. They should probably fetch first so that way they're not drawing an extra land they don't want. Yeah, now they're doing it before the Deadly Dispute. So they are Jund. I mean, they could still be Brood Scale. It's just like the artifact land is. Like, to me, this says that they're more of the Wildfire deck. That's my guess here. And they are, in fact, the Wildfire deck. And I have the 4th basic in my hand, so I can't get a land with Cleansing Wildfire. That's devastating. Okay. They play a Familiar. I'll discard a Lorien Revealed. In theory, this should be an extremely favorable matchup for us. We'll discard another Revealed. Tap my 4 islands. We'll remove 1 counter. Play Vivisurgeon's Insight. They'll go to 3 poison. We'll level up our Pentad Prism. I will pass the turn. They attack for 4. I will go to 14. They have another land. It's still 6 cards in their Blood Fountain. I don't care about that. 4 mana for a Writhing Chrysalis. Another Weather the Storm. We will play a Vivisurgeon's Insight. This will put them up to 4 poison. And now I find land. But 3 of them in a row isn't really what we want. I'll play the Peat Bog, play out a Lotus Petal. I'll play Weather the Storm, and another Weather. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of life here. They use a blood token to discard a bridge. They sacrifice the other Eldrazi spawn, and that makes the Writhing Chrysalis just a little bit bigger. They play a Lembas, Cleansing Wildfire. So I lost my land again. The fact that we drew all 4 of our basics, or I guess I searched at least one of them out, was not convenient. They play a Nile Spellbomb. I'll take 8 at 20. Play Peat Bog. We'll play Experimental Augury. This will put them up to 5 poison. We'll take a Vivisurgeon's Insight. Proliferate onto them. And I'll Infectious Inquiry. So they'll go up to 6 poison. Pass the turn. Deadly Dispute, sacrificing Hickory Wellspring. Eviscerator's Insight. Refurbished Familiar. I'll discard Saprazzan Skerry. Park Clan Shaman. I don't play creatures. They swing for 8. We go to 17. So this is definitely a turn coming up where I am looking to win the game. We'll play Pentad Prism. It really depends on what I draw off of this Vivisurgence Insight. We'll play the Insight, putting them up to 7 poison. And that was not that good. Okay, so we'll steady progress them up to 8 poison. Okay, that was good. I'll play out the Lotus Petal. And Augury, we just need to hit another poison card. Steady progress will do. And it was good enough to win the game. Steady progress. Wait, we take game number 1 despite having multiple lands destroyed by Cleansing Wildfire. We don't need Breath Weapon. I mean, you could probably leave in 1 if you want for like refurbished familiars. I just don't know if that's actually good. You don't want Snap. Bring the Ending is probably fine. I'm going to board out the Breath Weapon, and I'll board down 1 Weather the Storm. We'll try this. We will keep. They've taken a mulligan to 5. Even if I finish, like hypothetically, let's say that I win this match, and I win the next one, which nothing is guaranteed in all of Magic. I just know the comment section is going to rip me apart about playing so poorly versus Mono-White that I can't stop thinking about it right now. Not looking forward to it. They Cleansing Wildfire me. Yeah, that happens. Grab a basic. Play the Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. They play Lembas, sure, and a Bridge. They have 4 cards left in their Infectious Inquiry. That's not bad, but I don't want to get rid of my Pentad Prism. So we will Experimental Augury. This is interesting. Do you take the other Pentad Prism or do you just take the Proliferate card? And I think it's the Proliferate. As much as I would love another Pentad Prism. Play the island, pass. And I am not cycling these Lorien Revealeds because our opponent is likely going to try to Cleansing Wildfire me. They use Twisted Landscape. Hickory Wellspring, sure. Vault of Whispers, Refurbish. I think I'm going to let this result. We'll get rid of Weather this time. So I could have played Bring the Ending, but if I do that, I can't play Infectious. I say that, and then of course I draw Pentad. We'll play the Infectious Inquiry. Saprazzan Skerry, pass the turn. They have Hickory Wellspring, Troublemaker. So I guess no matter what, I lose the Pentad Prism here, so we're just going to let it go. I'll take 2. Everflowing Chalice. I'll play the Chalice for 1, and then I will Pentad Prism for 1, and then Contentious Plan. So they go to 2 poison, and then I get to level up both my artifacts. Pass the turn. They swing, I'll go to 12. Deadly Dispute, sacrificing Hickory Wellspring. Another Hickory Wellspring. They have 5 cards in hand. So the life total of 12 is where you have to start thinking about Galvanic Blast just killing you. Another refurbishment. I'm going to let this slide. Get rid of Infectious Eviscerator's Insight. They sacrifice the Hickory Wellspring, so they're going to draw up to 6 cards here. Lorien Revealed. I'll start with a steady progress. They'll go to 3 poison. We find Experimental Augury. I think I'm supposed to play a Lorien Revealed this turn. Another Saprazzan Skerry. I'm going to pass the turn. So I have Bring the Ending open. Next turn might be a turn where I try to have a Storm-like turn, but for now, I need Bring the Ending to protect me from dying. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm at 6. Writhing Chrysalis, I do not care. They play a Twisted Landscape. All right, well, I believe that it's time to part. I'll begin with an Experimental Augury. We'll grab another Experimental Augury. Proliferate. I think I'm going to tap the Everflowing Chalice now. I will play Experimental Augury again, because I think the blue matters more. Interesting. I'll take Vivisurgence in. They go to 5 poison. Tap the Saprazzan Skerry. We'll play another Experimental Augury. This will put them up to 6 poison. I'm dead on board, so the life total aspect of Infectious Inquiry matters if they have a Galvanic Blast in hand. That would actually be 4, which makes the Galvanic Blast full. I think you're supposed to take the Lotus Petal. Or maybe it's supposed to be the Pentad Prism. I don't know. But they'll go to 6 points. Pentad Prism with 6 count. I'll play the Lotus Petal. We will steady progress. This puts them up to 7 points. I do still have 2 more copies of Weather the Storm in the deck. Those would be reasonable fine. But I have not found them. We'll play the Lotus Petal. We'll play Vivisurgence Insight. I found Weather the Storm. I did not find any more poison cards. But that's okay, because this Weather the Storm is going to... We'll play Hickory Woodlot and Weather the Storm to gain 24. I'm now at 30 life, and we get to pass the turn with 30 cards left in our deck too. Deadly Dispute, Battle Spellbomb, I do not care. Another Writhing Chrysalis. They sacrifice to pump up their Writhing Chrysalis, and they're going to activate the Limbas. Got it. Gain 3 life. I will refurbish Familiar Postcom. I will discard a Peat Bog. We need to find 2 poison this. We'll start with a Contentious Plan. And we draw another Lorien Revealed. I think it's time we tap the Everflowing Chalice for 9 mana. Well, that didn't do it. Let's try again. Lorien Revealed. There we go. We'll tap the Saprazzan Skerry and play Steady Progress. Just like that. All right, we're now 3-1. 1 match left to go. Let's just go win that one. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory, featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Cobal and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The final match. We are on the draw. I will keep. I do not know what our opponent is playing. We're just going to try to do the Pauper Poison Storm thing. They've taken a mulligan. Forest. Blade Cover Scout, so Bogles. I don't know how the game 1 matchup is. I know that post board we have a number of fog effects that are pretty good. They play a Rancor and Sentinels. This is 4 damage coming. They still have 2 cards left in there. Good start. Weather the Storm was very good. I'm going to play Lotus Petal, which I know that I'm supposed to hold for the Weather the Storm, but I think I need to Infectious Inquiry. And I don't hit another land. I don't know why I pronounce it that way, but pass the turn. Another Rancor, so this is 6 damage coming. This will knock me down to 8. I'm almost dead already. Oh, snap. Very good in this match, let me tell you. We'll play Everflowing Chalice for 1 and pass the turn. I am dead to the lightest of breezes, or the heaviest of punch. That also kills me. All right, well, it was a fast one. We can get these snaps out of my deck. Bring in Moment's Peace. And I think you're supposed to take out the Breath Weapon. Like, the odds of you casting this before their Bogle is large is very small. I will submit. You could make an argument for bringing in Bring the Ending. I don't know if that's actually a good move. So I'm not going to do it. Because what are you taking out? Like, I like every card that's in my main deck right now. Game number 2, we're on the play. Sure, this seems delightful. They have a very fast mulligan to fight. We'll begin the game with a Saprazzan Skerry and pass. My plan is that on turn 2, I'm going to play Peat Bog plus Contentious Plan or Experimental Augury. Not sure which. Alright, they have the turn 1 Slippery Bogle. Another Infectious Inquiry. I think I'll do Experimental Augury. We'll take Pentad Prism. We're bottoming 2 copies of Moment's Peace, which is one of the best cards in this matchup. So I think that we're going to want to shuffle our deck with a Lorien Revealed as soon as possible. They have another land. They attack for 1. I like to see that. We'll go to 19. Malevolent Rumble. They find nothing, really. I mean, Utopia Sprawls, but I don't care about it. Play Pentad Prism. And then we'll play Contentious. I can play Infectious Inquiry. And I found a Lorien Reveal. So we'll remove a counter. We'll cycle the Lorien. So we just shuffled those Moment's Pieces back into our deck. I will pass the turn. Land number 3. They play Utopia Sprawl. Armadillo Cloak, sure. We'll take 3. Moment's Peace. I'll play Infectious Inquiry. Play the Hickory Woodlot. And Contentious Plan. So we'll proliferate on them. And we draw a Lotus Petal. I'll pass the turn. Ethereal Armor. Now he's 6/6. And another Slippery Bogle. I'll take 6 damage going down to 8. Pentad Prism was a good draw. We'll play the Pentad Prism. Play Lotus Petal. Play Contentious Plan. They'll go to 3 poison. Weather the Storm, that was good. Play Infectious Inquiry. We draw 2 more lands. I'll play Vivisurgeon's Insight. They'll go up to 5 poison. Alright, my Storm is currently 5. I'll play Lotus Petal and weather the storm for 7. I'll gain 21 life. If possible, I'd prefer to not have to show them Moment's Peace, because if Bogles knows that you're on Moment's Peace, and I think that they would probably assume that you have it, they could bring in Flaring Pain. And I don't want them to think that I have it, so we'll see. They chose green for Utopia. So if they had Flaring Pain, they might have chose red. And now we're probably going to win this turn. I say probably because it's not a guarantee. I'll play Vivisurgeon's Insight. They go to 6 poison. We will proliferate. I'll play Steady Progress. They'll go to 7 poison. We draw another land. I'll play it. Weather the Storm for 9. Pass. They attack for 8. I'll go to 20. Steady Progress. We'll play that. This will bring them up to 8 poison. We draw another land. I believe we would like to hardcast the. Alright, so we draw a Contentious Plan. We'll play Contentious Plan. This will bring them up to 9 poison. And we did not draw a final poison here. So I will play Everflowing Chalice. I'll use the one I have floating. I'll use 1 mana from Pentad. And then I will weather the storm for 15. I'm trying my hardest to not show them moments. They play Sentinel's Eyes. And now this is 10 damage. I go to 27, they're at 50. Another Weather the Storm. We'll just play a land and pass. I'll take 10. I'm at 15. Another Slippery Bogle. We draw a Lotus Petal. That doesn't really help all that much here. I will pass. They play a land. They have 2 cards left. Abundant Growth. So now their land can tap for any color, including red. They play a Rancor. Am I supposed to show them? I think I'm going to. We'll play Moment's Peace. Is there? No, they couldn't play Flaring Pain. Their red mana was tapped. We draw another land. I will pass. They swing for 15, so this would be lethal. I will flash back Moment. They play another creature. They have 1 card left in their hand. There we go. Experimental Augury. We'll take a Lorien Revealed. We'll proliferate onto you. I won't bother clicking everything out. That's good enough. And now we just have to win game number 3 on the draw. Alright, I'm going to submit the same configuration and hope it's good enough. Alright, game 3, we've opened up no mana. I just have to send this back. This seems fine. We'll get rid of the Lotus Petal. Our opponent took a mulligan to 5. They have a turn 1 Glade Cover Scout. We'll play Hickory Woodlot and pass. Land number 2. Into Abundant Growth. Okay. And Rancor. So I'll take 3 here down to 17, and they still have 2 cards in there. I'll play Peat Bog and pass. They played a Sheltering Landscape. Ancestral Mask. So this is 7 coming in? I think I'm supposed to Moment's Peace. Maybe I'm wrong. So my plan was to next turn play Insight, and if I do that, I lose my green land for the rest of the game. But if I don't Moment's Peace, I go to 10, and then any enchantment kills me on the following turn. Almost any enchantment. I'm going to Moment's Peace. Deep Analysis. So I think I'm going to burn the Lotus Petal, and then I'll just play Deep Analysis instead of the Insight, because that way I get to keep my Hickory Woodlot. Oh, those were not good draws. Alright, I will pass. I was hoping for a low mana value Proliferate spell, so that way I could level up the lands and still continue to use them. Armadillo Cloak, so this is 11. I'm still alive, but I'm in a position where I need a lot of things to go right in order to win this game now. I don't think Pentad Prism does it. I'll play the island. I think I have to lose both of my. Play the Pentad Prism. And now I'll play Vivisurgeon's Insight. Proliferate. Yeah, I'm just too far behind. I didn't draw any low mana Proliferate spells in the top 25% of my deck. So I can go Chalice for 0 into Weather the Storm for 12, but then I don't have a Pentad Prism next. Yeah, like, I've lost this. There's no way I come back. Weather the Storm. So, and the only way that I'm able to flashback Moment's Peace next turn is if I draw another Lotus Petal, I think. And then, like, what am I doing? Because now I'm stuck in a spot where I can never get ahead. They play a Utopia Sprawl and another Armadillo Cloak, so this puts me to 1. Yeah, and I can't win because This Hickory Woodlot enters tapped. So we lost to a mulligan to 5. Bummer. All right, so this probably should have been a 4-1. Instead, it was a 3. I did not play well in the mono-white matchup. That is on me. So the Bogles matchup, though, I just felt so far behind the entire. And that was with them on mulligans. Imagine if they kept 7. So I don't know if there's any real fix to that because this is a very slow deck and you're hoping to Moment's Peace to slow them down, but you need your mana engine online in order to get to that. And I was never able to do that because I never found any of my low mana value proliferate spells. We have 12 of them. So what do I think of the deck list? This is CKieling's deck list and it seemed fine. I don't know what I would change. Like, it seems reasonable enough to me. You probably need to play a little bit better than I did today, especially the amount of white matchup. But ultimately, I think it's fine. I think even a seasoned player probably would have lost to Bogles there. We didn't have enough for the matchup, or the right draws for the matchup, I should say. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed Poison Storm. It's been over half a year since the last time I've uploaded it, so it's been a hot second. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.